Okay, so Afterburner is picked up. It does not do anything at all. No lights, no monitor, nothing. It doesn't power on. So before I can even start to diagnose it, I'm gonna probably need to replace the power supply. But it's gonna need some paint for sure. The art's got a few chips and scratches on the sides. The front doesn't look too bad, maybe a little bit here. Yeah, that art's a little wore out there. I am not gonna do side art on this. I will probably touch up the paint on it, give it a good thorough cleaning. The plastic is all solid. No cracks. It's actually in better shape than the one I have in the basement right now. And so is the flight yoke. And it feels really good. Missing the security screw here and here, which tells me somebody has been in here. Obviously they've changed out the button because that's not the yellow light up button that should be on there. And those things are ridiculous to find. If you do find one, plan on paying $40. I'm not paying $40 for a button. But hopefully the yoke and everything is in good shape inside. I don't know what this is. Discard. It's a button. I just don't know what. Maybe that's what they put in there for credit. For a credit button. We'll obviously change that. A little bit of metal there maybe. Might replace that rubber if it doesn't clean up too well. Get some neoprene at Home Depot for that. But pretty much, yeah, I mean, hopefully we're just a power supply and some paint and a little good cleaning. A couple of security bolts. But we'll see. Okay, I got to get some fuel on and get headed to pick up Fast and the Furious. All right, stay tuned. I'll talk to you later. So, I'm excited to be going after this Fast and Furious cabinet. Not just because I'm happy to get the cabinet. And I'm getting a pretty decent deal on it. $700 is what I'm giving him. And it's supposed to be in good condition, so while that's more than I'd like to spend on a single cabinet, I don't really have to do anything to it other than maybe clean it. So I guess that's not that bad. I would say it's probably about a $900 to $1,100 game. I think that's where it's priced at on the price guide. Anyways. But what I'm really excited about is that I get to see something other than corn. There's hills and there's trees, and then I start looking and looking to the right, and I got corn and more corn. That's okay. We'll get away from it eventually. At least we have some scenery. So, my $50 Afterburner arcade that I picked up last night, I told you I had to look at an NBA Jam that the seller also had. Was hoping to get it fixed for him because he was priced higher than I wanted to pay for a cabinet. And it had a tilt switch lock trigger that was stuck, and so we fixed that and got the game to boot up, but then the controls wouldn't work. None of the buttons, none of the joysticks work, except the player one joystick will go up. So I'm thinking it's a ground issue somewhere, but I looked and looked. I couldn't see anything disconnected or any broken wires or anything like that. So I'm hoping that, you know, it's not a PCB issue, because the guy made me a really good deal on it after all, and I agreed to buy it for $300. If it turns out it's a board issue, I'll either have to replace the board or send it out for repair. I'm not super confident on repairing boards. It might be something I can figure out. I looked at the schematics, and they're pretty vague, at least for my knowledge level and skill level. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to pick it up in about a week and a half, because it's a drive, and I've got some things going on, and, you know, of course there's life and work, and now tree removal from this morning's storm. So yeah, one more to add to the lineup. I have definitely exceeded the number of 3/4 scale cabinets that I still own with full size, and I'm wondering how many more of the 3/4 scale I'm going to get rid of. I'm down to probably about 15 or 20 of them from, you know, I once had like 50 of them. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I'm going to get back to the road here and pay attention to my driving, and I'll talk to you guys later. Well, got Fast and Furious loaded up, on the way back to the land of corn. It's an absolutely beautiful cabinet. I can't even begin to tell you. It's gorgeous. I think the only dent or ding on it is probably the one that we caused moving it. Heavy as hell, I'll say that. It was in a basement, so we had to come up about a dozen stairs. And it's got a huge monitor in it, so that doesn't help with the weight issue. Not to mention, it's just a big girthy cabinet. It measures at its widest point right at 36 inches deep, and it's like 29 inches wide. So to put it in the bed of the truck with the camper shell, had to lay it on its side, and it's got to be just over 6 foot tall, because I couldn't close the gate, had to strap it in, and can't get the camper shell lid to close either. Luckily, it's been pretty dry going home. I did wrap it in plastic just to be safe anyways. But yeah, headed back to the storage facility with it. I'm going to drop it off. I've got somebody meeting me there to help me unload it, because it is so big and heavy. Normally, I just slide them out by myself. Not that big of a deal. But this one, I didn't want to do that. You know, not just because of the size, but it's just such a beautiful cabinet. I didn't want to take the risk of damaging it, or even worse, dropping the damn thing like I did yesterday with the off-road. Man, I'm still mad at myself over that. But, no, the cabinet plays beautifully. The seller I bought it from has owned it for about 12 years. And considering it was released in 2004, that means that the cabinet's only 21 years old. So before, it was only 9 years out before he had it. And it sounded like he got it from somebody who was also a collector / flipper. So the cabinet's probably only had, 7, 8, maybe at the most 9 years of commercial use. So it's not beat on real bad at all. It's a gorgeous cabinet. I'm really pleased with it. And as soon as I get it off, I'll shoot another video and let you see it. All right. Okay, there it is. I took the plastic off so that you guys could get a good look at it. I don't have power set up here right now, but that monitor, you're going to have to trust me, it's got a beautiful picture. And here's the other side, if I can get in here by the wall. Oh, somebody's put some duct tape on here. That's not good. Get that to come off. Might have to clean that up with some Goo Gone. But yeah, it's in great shape. Just phenomenal. And then, like I said, the only damage on it is what we caused moving it out. And it was somewhere along the top here. Maybe it was this side. Yeah, a little bit of a nick right there. But that's the only thing wrong with this thing, and it's something we did, and you can't even see it. Looks like T-molding's flaking a little bit on here, right there. I am not a fan of chrome T-molding anyways. But there it is. Not a bad score. All right, I'll check in with you in a little bit. Got to get Dolly returned and head home. Well, I'm home. I've had time to take a nap and unwind. And just wanted to close the video out. You know, you probably noticed that the storage locker is getting a little full. So I think NBA Jam is probably going to be my last pickup for a while. And I'm not getting that for about another week and a half. Anyways, but I think that's going to be my last one until I get some of my machines repaired. I've got 5 of them in the garage now. They all play, but they need some adjustments and, you know, a little touch-up paint, some artwork, things like that. So once I button those 5 up, I'll probably put a couple of them downstairs, and then we'll move a few of them into the storage facility and bring a few back to the garage and get those working. So yeah, I think, you know, like I said, NBA Jam will be my last pickup for a while. I'm pretty excited about that. I think the more I've looked into it, I think it's going to be an issue with the boards. So the boards are going to have to be either sent out for repair, or maybe I can source a new board set. We'll just have to see. I'm going to try a couple of things and make sure that it's still not a ground issue that I'm just not overlooking. Yeah, that's where I'm at. Still really happy with today's pickup, yesterday's pickups, some really good deals, some really nice games, awesome games, some nice cabinets. So yeah, been a great weekend, productive. Now it's time for a beverage and maybe a movie or something, a little unwind time. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.